The Micro Small Medium Enterprise Business Mentorship Program, or MSME Business Mentorship Program, was officially launched by Inoorero University in partnership with the Danish Embassy and all its strategic partners at the Hilton Hotel on the 20th of July 2011. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor Thairo, emphasized the commitment of Inoorero University on the MSME program.
We are the Enterprise University of Kenya. And in terms of an enterprise university, it looks at the total business ecosystem and wants to know where we can make the biggest impact. Of course, first of all, we start with our own students in creating the entrepreneurial mindset, and that is a continuous process. But then we also needed to look at the sector where most of our students would go. And if you look at the Kenyan sector, most of employment is created among the SMEs. But if you also look at the same time at its contribution to the GDP of the country, it's about 20%, which means that there's something absolutely wrong, that the highest employment sector in terms of contribution to GDP is 20%. Yet, therefore, that percentage ought to be much bigger. So then one must ask, what is wrong? And I think that's why the university came into that place, wanting therefore to be what we would call a knowledge partner in SME development. What that means is then our work was to study, why is it that the SMEs as they are, and important as they are, as an employment market where people could go and create jobs, why then haven't those jobs grown to be able to be a big contributor to the GDP? And that's where we found that actually the missing link is business mentorship.
Some of the people who have been in business already have learned certain things about the market. They've been beaten up by the market. They've been down enough times. They know better than anything else how not to do business. And yet someone who just come from school and taught about business has no experience at all about what business is like, hasn't been down with it. And so that's when mentoring comes in, to enable the person who has been down with the business, has been beaten up by the business, to learn where they went wrong, how they can sharpen their skills to do even better at where they are. So that mentoring fills that gap.
Within a class of 25 mentors who were selected from industry, a number of them are business owners, others are practicing consultants. And we worked with our partners to identify these 25 mentors. These mentors have undergone 5 intensive months of training. Once mentors have been identified to join this program, they are expected to come along with a mentee who is an entrepreneur. They are indeed going to walk along with this mentee for the entire duration of the program, which is 6 months during the training phase. The mentee they have identified will be receiving support during the breaks upon the modules we offer.
The MSME Business Mentorship Program is going on its fullest capacity. The program focuses on changing the mindset and choosing the most qualified mentors to create skilled and competent entrepreneurs.
I realized that I don't have some skills that would enable me to move my business forward, so I enrolled in a training program. Now, when I did, the training was on entrepreneurship, and I had an opportunity to become a trainer as an entrepreneur. For me, it was twofold. One, I would gain skills by sharing experiences with fellow participants who I would train, and also build my own skills in my business. But I felt that it was not enough, because once you build skills, then what? You take them to your business, but how do you follow them up? Is there someone that you can work with? Someone you can look up to and call up and say, hey, how is this going on? Sometimes when you're a trainer, or when you have a trainer who has taken you through that, they disconnect with you. So they have a mission to train you for 1 or 2 weeks, and after that, they expect you to follow through. So when I heard there was a mentoring program, I realized that this might be a skill that may give me more than just getting what you'd call the academic skills or skills that come in within a certain period. These are skills that I would practice in my business and call up someone and ask him, you know, I'm thinking about this, how do I go about this? And I felt that mentoring would be part of this.
I expect for the people I'm mentoring is that I'm going to make sure that whatever you've trained them on theory how to either start a business, improve their business, expand the business, needs to be applied. And when you're applying it, you need somebody to give you guidance. And I know that the people I'm mentoring, right now we already started seeing results. They didn't have some systems into place. I've helped them put those systems. And even the mentee that I'm working with, I've started seeing the fruits. And right now when I call for a meeting so that they meet, they respond much faster than when we started because they could not see the component. So I believe that the results are going to be quite immense in terms of improving the business, because it's one thing to tell you, it's another thing to help implement it. And I think that had been the missing link, because a lot of trainings have been done for SMEs, but we added at the action plan. We want to go to help them how to do it, and I think that is the kind of results we want to achieve.
Since I engaged with Pius as my mentor, one big issue that we were looking at is the building, or we identified as a need, is building the capacity of my company.
I was put in touch with a mentor called Titus, a very kind gentleman who's given me a lot of time. And together we've just been trying to set up my business systems, identify what my main challenges are, and try to help me improve and grow my business in a strong, sustainable way for the future.
When I saw the approach that Inoorero was taking, and having gone through the first module and saw the 2 dimensions, it kind of tied up. Everything was much more simplified. There are things that I can actually apply in my business. I had a business plan that still felt like it was far off. You take it and you toss it. But with the business system, it was more realistic. There were elements that you can relate to. There are charts that you look at and you see where you are in that chart and map. So I felt it was more practical. Even when I'm mentoring my mentee, I felt more in control because it was very simplified. Even when you speak to the person, there are issues that you can relate with. So I feel Inoorero is going the right way, where even there is not the examination element, but more of experiential and writing what you feel and then seeing whether it is in line with what they say, not the other way around. Because when you write an exam, normally it's on recall. How much do you remember in this? But in this one, it's more of an application kind of learning, which is more practical. You test it and you write about it, and they see whether what you learned was practical in your business. If there are questions, they say that there's a tutor who can take you through it. So I felt it was a bridge between the tough academics, which sometimes is very difficult for us business people, and also the timings are very, very flexible.
In university, I get what I need from the books. The practical aspect, it's left up to experience out of university. What if I don't want to be employed? Where am I getting it from? I get it from other people who've already done it, and that's through the mentorship program.
It's about what you are learning, you are practicing the next day to see then what are those issues that will help businesses grow.
As the need of greater skilled, equipped, and experienced entrepreneurs continues, the Micro, Small, Medium Business Mentorship Program is the pillar to building the future of a greater economy in Kenya, East Africa, and even the world.
It is a great thing, and for me, I never thought that I would get a mentor. In fact, when I was once asked about a mentorship, I was thinking of people maybe who are unreachable to me. But here I have a mentor who is reachable, whom I can call anytime. So I believe if you can have such kind of guys to majority of the young entrepreneurs, it will have huge impact in the country, because it will instill positive beliefs and values to entrepreneurs.
When you do a program like this, the success stories which can come out of it maybe will inspire other people to also do the same. And you have some kind of a compounding effect. And at the end of it all, as long as you have more people being mentoring and more businesses succeeding, then everyone is the better off when it comes to the future. And then we achieve all these goals, Vision 2030, Millennium Development Goals, all these things will be achieved by entrepreneurship and growing entrepreneurs.
We want to add value at the meso level by adding a last final pillar called mentorship, that we can generate a critical mass of qualified business mentors for the NGOs, for the private sector, for the government to work with. So we want to turn all those officers in government, for example, the youth development officers, the trade officers, the district development officers, who on a daily basis engage with entrepreneurs. We want to turn them to be business mentors. As Inoorero University, we are qualifying and creating those mentors. So in summary, we want and we remain a knowledge partner for the micro, small and medium enterprises.
What we actually see in terms of the future is that, like the way we have in the area of accountancy, a professional body in charge of accountancy, out of this training, we'll create another professional body of business mentors. And therefore, in a way, we have broken ground where in the total of the African region, there's nothing called an association of business mentors.
As the economy of Kenya tries to reach its millennium goals and to provide the most skilled entrepreneurs, the Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Business Mentorship Program is the answer to the future of effective, efficient, and competent entrepreneurs.